Welcome back, 7th grade scholars. Thank you for joining me again to have math at Terry's house. I appreciate you tuning in. We're going to continue our work from our previous session on translations. Here are your solutions from yesterday's independent practice. Please take a moment just to look at your answers and compare. Our objective for today is given a pre-image in the coordinate plane. I will be able to identify the coordinates of the image of a right triangle or rectangle that has been translated either vertically, horizontally, or a combination of a vertical and horizontal translation. I will also be able to sketch the image of a right triangle or rectangle that has been translated vertically, horizontally, or a combination of both. We're going to focus on translations vertically or horizontally today. As always, please make sure you have your notebook and a writing utensil available so that we can write out our notes and our practice as needed. So let's go ahead and get started.
Well, let's say that we have this figure right here, and we want to move this figure to a different location on the coordinate plane. Essentially just taking the figure and sliding it to a new location in the coordinate plane. That process of moving that entire figure is called a translation. So let's look at the definition for a translation. A translation is a transformation that moves each point in a figure the same distance and in the same direction. Often, a translation is called a slide. Essentially because all we're doing is sliding that figure to a new location on the coordinate plane. Now, when we translate a figure, we can either translate it horizontally or vertically, or a combination of the two. So, let's take a few examples and translate a few different figures. Let's start by taking a figure and translating it to the right. So let's take this figure and translate it, or slide it to the right. Let's slide it, or translate it, 7 units to the right. Now remember, a translation is a transformation that moves each point in a figure to a new location. And we want to move each point the same distance and in the same direction. So here we want to take this entire figure and slide it 7 units to the right. To do this, we pick points on the figure and translate them individually. So let's start by taking this point right here. Let's translate this point 7 units to the right. To do that, we simply need to count 7 units to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then we plot our new point. When we take this point and translate it 7 units to the right, we get this new point. Now to get the other points, all we need to do is pick other points on our figure and translate those 7 units to the right. So say we take these 4 vertexes of our figure. If we slide them to the right, we get these points here. We can then connect the dots and we get our new figure. The new figure is called an image. And an image is the same size and shape as the original figure. It's just moved 7 units to the right. And since we didn't reflect or rotate this figure at all, that means that this image is the same orientation as our original figure too. So pretty much it looks the exact same. It's just been translated 7 units to the right. Now that we've seen a horizontal translation, let's look at a vertical one. Let's take this figure and translate it vertically. Let's take the figure and translate it down 6 units. So, we want to take this figure and translate it, or slide it down 6 units. Remember, to do this translation, we need to take points individually from the figure and translate them one at a time. So let's take this point and translate it down 6 units. So we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we plot our new point. Great! Then we continue this process of picking individual points and translating them one at a time. until we have enough points plotted where we can connect those points and create our new figure, or our image. Again, this image is the same size, shape, and orientation of our original figure. It's just been translated 6 units down. Now remember, we can also have a combination of horizontal and vertical translations. So let's look at one of those. Let's perform a vertical shift or a vertical translation on this figure. First, we'll translate this figure 3 units down. Then, we'll perform a horizontal translation and translate or slide this figure 5 units to the right. Great. So, again, we need to pick individual points. Let's take this point. First, we'll translate it 3 units down. Then we'll translate it 5 units to the right. So first 3 units down. 1, 2, 3. Then 5 units right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we plot that new point. Then again, we pick points on our figure and we plot those new points on our coordinate plane. When we connect these points, we get our new figure, or our image. And this image is the same size, shape, and orientation as the original figure. So remember, a translation is a transformation that moves each point in a figure the same distance and in the same direction.
All right, let's look at this practice problem together. Describe this transformation. Well, we see that it is a same congruent figure. It's not doing anything but moving from one place to the other. It looks like all points are going together. So right there, we should kind of know that it is a translation. Okay, so what do we need to do in order to get from point A to point B? So in this case, we're going to go down and we're going to go to the right. So there's 2 things we have to do. So that is a translation. I want to see exactly if I'm moving all my points in the same direction every time. This nice little red right angle can help me do that. So here's point C, and then it gets me to C prime. Here's point B, gets me to B prime. Here's point A, it moves me to A prime. So I do a really good job making sure that I have that translation there. So I can look at this, and again, if you need to write this down, please do, that this is a transformation that is a translation or a slide. Okay? Translation or a slide. So look at these. Let's identify the translations appearing in the picture. Take your time, determine which colors are translations, and that's all I want you to do. So just go ahead and pause your video, and then when you think you got all the right answers, we're going to check it. All right, let's look at it and see. I think I look at this and it looks like it just went this way, so I'm going to go with the gold. Then I'm going to say, well, let's look at this green. I look at A here. I have A prime. That's a good one. I look at B, but I don't have B prime. It's up there. Can't use that one. So let's look at the red. A prime. Okay. B prime. Looks like it's in the right place. C prime. And all I'm doing is sliding my number over. Okay. I'm going to try that one. That looks good. Yes. Awesome. Let's try the blue. A prime, but B, so I should have B prime right here. It's not, so can't be it. So let's see what our answers are. Let's check and see if we're right. Awesome. So we can see here that our answer is the gold and the red. Both of those of which we said was correct. Let's try this one together. Translate triangle ABC 5 units down and label the image A prime, B prime, C prime. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to count. I'm going to look right here and I'm going to determine where those points are going to be. So if I'm here, like A prime, 5 units down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, straight down. So that means that point is going to go there. I'm going to go ahead and move all of my units. 5 units down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here we go again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So what would my answers be for A prime, B prime, and C prime? Let's look and see if we can figure out where our new numbers are. So for A, -2. Did we go up or down? We're going down, so it's -1. So this will be -2. Put this right here. Maybe be able to write and -1. Okay. Then let's go ahead and look at B. B is here, +1, -2. +1. We'll go ahead and put a plus sign there. So that's +1 and -2. Okay. All right. Then we're looking at C. That's right there on our y-axis. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's right there at the origin, if I counted them correctly. So let's see, that is 0 and 0. All right. So then it says, I'm going to do another one. And yes, I can connect my points. Let me go ahead and try to make it as straight line as I possibly can. All right. So that is this triangle moved. All right. Then let's try another one. This one says translate ABC units, triangle ABC 6 units to the right and label the image A prime prime, B prime prime, and C prime prime because we can't use the same one again. So let's go ahead and try that one. Go ahead and get a different color. So 6 units to the right. So we're here, so that means we're going to go to the right. That's pretty simple. I'm going to start with C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Put my point there. Start with B. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Point goes there. Here's A. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Good. So I have, this is C, like they said, prime. It's a little difficult to write here. But you're going to do each one of your points and give it those particular names. So that's awesome job. Awesome job. Okay. So now we're going to see what our order pairs are for each one of these points. So for A, we're at 4, 4, +4, +4. So that's good. That one's kind of simple. All right. And then for B, we're at, here's B, B prime prime. Go ahead and write it correctly for you. B prime prime then would be over 7 up how many? 3. Good. So that's going to be 7, 3. Face is in the way. Move that out the way for you. And then C prime. Go ahead and call that A prime prime. All right. And then here's C prime prime. We're going to go over 6 and up 5. So again, 6 and up 5. Let's see. Back for you. 7, 3, 6, 5. Yep. We did a fabulous job in making sure our answers were in the right spots, either vertically or horizontally. Now that we have done those together, we're going to do our independent practice. There's only 2 problems today. It looks like this, and you can get to the link to the page from your learning plan. Remember, all you have to do is write down your answers, and we will go over them during our next session. You're going to put your answers in your notebook, so there's no need to have anything printed, unless you choose to. but you don't need to have anything printed. Just look at it from the screen and from the learning plan, so it'll be bigger, and have your answers in your notebook. And as always, you're going to spend about 10 to 15 minutes in your Dreambox account, and we will basically be done. Have we met our objective of today? I say so, because remember, our focus was going to be on vertical and horizontal translation and sketching horizontal and vertical translations. But we did get some information on both. Our lesson will be a little bit more on translations. So I look forward to seeing you, and I hope you have a wonderful day.